Programang ito ay rated SPG. Striktong patnubay at gabay ng magulang ang kailangan. Maaaring may masiselang tema, lengguwahe, karahasan, sexual, horror o droga na hindi angkop sa mga bata.
This is Celebrity Horror Stories. Celebrity Horror Stories. The Other Maid. Istorya ni Matet de Leon. One day, Matet called up her friend who was her stylist to come to her house for a primping session. Her friend was greeted by a helper at the gate and proceeded to enter the house to meet Matet and start the session. After they finished, Matet asked her helperto to prepare dinner for them. While they were eating, the friend asked Matet for the whereabouts of the other helper that let her in the house since only one of them was serving the food. To her surprise, Matet only had one helper in the house. Her friend was adamant about seeing another one. This terrified Matet, so she left his house and never looked back. Sleep Demons. Viveka aka Sabel. Viveka spent the early part of her married life with the husband away from home. One night alone in her bedroom, she woke up in the middle of the night surrounded by dark elementals. One was at the foot of her bed, the other on the right side, but the one that scared her most was the one on the left side of her bed. She swore she could see its red eyes and long fingers. She said to the demon. She said the demon would reach for her with its long fingers and touch her. This proceeded to happen every night. The visions finally stopped when they moved into a new house. The Phantom Boy. Brillante Mendoza. Mendoza has just wrapped up shooting for a couple of scenes for the movie Sapi. When he went home to check the footage, he realized that some of the shots were missing actors that were in the frame while shooting. He didn't really pay attention to this at the first, so he went to sleep. After that night, he woke up with a stinging sensation just above his left eye. When he looked at the mirror, he discovered a small boil. Again, he paid a little attention to this. Later on, he realized that the boil was getting bigger and actually moving from left side of his face to the middle of his forehead. With nothing to do but pray, he asked God to protect him, and when he woke up, the boil was gone. The Extra. Tonton Gutierrez. If you watch the movie Dalaw, you may have caught a glimpse of a visitor at the end of the film. In the scene where Tonton and his wife are fighting, just as she is about to exit the sliding door, a little head with long hair can be seen peeping through the space where the door was slightly ajar. There couldn't have been anybody else to set that day since it was closed location. The actors were informed during the editing of the final cut, and it frightened the cast. They shattered their set with something paranormal. The visitor was never edited out from the final cut, so you can spot it towards the end of the movie, if you dare. Visions by Solen Yusuf. Solen claims that she gets regular visits from the paranormal. When she was a younger girl, her mother was concerned about Solen's dark and grisly drawings that she sent her to see a specialist. Soon after, she started to hear, feel, and see ghosts. Her first experience was she was a teenager in the south of France. She was attending a surf camp with two of her friends. One day at the beach, they were looking out to the horizon when something grabbed her forearm and pulled her back. She paid a little attention to this, but it was her first paranormal experience. Since then, Solen has regularly seen ghosts, but she is not bothered by them. She has taught to herself to cope. She just politely tells them to go away, and according to her, they stop bothering her. Solen had a household helper who had been confined in a psychiatric hospital after encountering a capre in one of the Yusuf's mango trees. The tree was subsequently cut down. Mysterio. Ryan Eigenman. During his time as a host and for reality horror show Misterio on QTV11, Ryan encountered a ghost of a woman in the Manila City Hall. They were filming inside the building when suddenly Ryan felt cold all over. His colleague at the time had a third eye and informed Ryan that he saw a girl hugging him from behind. After the friend said that, he heard a girl's voice whisper for him to help. Ryan acknowledges the existence of ghosts but insists that he isn't scared of them as long as they are not there to hurt him. Friend neighbors Elizabeth Oropesa. Elizabeth is a famous actress turned spiritual medium. She says that being a bridge from the normal to paranormal has always been her dream. When she was a young child, she and her family recognized the possibility of her having a third eye. Elizabeth was never scared of the ghosts and actually played a lot with them. They would climb up trees and go into the forest. She claims all the ghosts were friendly and that world they lived it was a beautiful and simple. Visitor Sherry Bautista. Sherry had just rented a new place in with her assistants, a nice location. She signed the lease for 3 years because it was too good a deal to pass upon. On her first few days in the new place, Sherry started having nightmares featuring a long-haired man staring at her. She dismissed the nightmares and attributed them to stress from taping. One day, her best friend slept over and claimed that she had the same dream. This incident prompted her to have her house blessed and to place a crucifix in the middle of the living room. To her horror, when she awoke in the next day, the arms of Jesus were broken off and the crucifix was turned upside down. Soon after, Sherry and her best friend decided to take photographs of the apartment. When they saw the prints, they noticed a figure of a back of one picture. It was a tall man with the big eyes and an open mouth. He was covering his face as he was afraid of the flash. Shortly after, Sherry packed her bags and left the apartment following day.